are moments when life presses in from all sides, and it feels like you're just walking through a storm. You stay up night after night, exhausted, yet your mind won't stop. Thoughts spinning like wheels in the dark, stuck, but never still. You fall, you fail, you question everything, not just what you're doing, but who you are. So you smile in public and break down in private, because falling apart in front of others feels like weakness, and you've spent too long trying to be strong, not because you're weak, but because you've been strong for far too long. The pressure builds, bills, expectations, silence, and no one hears what it's doing to you on the inside. And in that silence, you start to lose yourself. You look in the mirror and ask, who am I becoming? Eyes tired, shoulders heavy, heart unsure. But even then, something deep inside still refuses to give up. A voice, faint but steady, whispering, keep going, you're not done yet. After the darkest nights, the sun still rises, not with noise or drama, but with quiet certainty. It reminds us that light doesn't need permission to return. Sometimes it only takes a small act of kindness, a stranger offering an umbrella, a gentle smile, to spark something deep within us. And then you hear it, the laughter of a child, unfiltered, pure. It cuts through the noise and reminds you of who you were before the world got heavy. You wipe your face, steady your breath, and sit back down at the desk, still tired, still hurting, but willing to try again. You tie your shoes, step out into the cold, and feel the sting of the morning air in your lungs. It's not easy, it never is, but even in that first step, there's life, there's motion, there's proof you haven't given up. One breath, one choice, one step, and the spark returns, small, quiet, but alive. The spark becomes a step, and the step becomes a rhythm. Slowly, quietly, you begin to climb. There are no cheers, no spotlight, just the sound of your breath, your heartbeat, your will pushing you forward. You fall, you fail, but now you rise faster. You start again without waiting for someone to notice. In the quiet of a studio, in the corners of a factory, behind the glow of a screen, you're putting in the work. No applause, just purpose. You hold on to discipline when motivation fades. You show up on the days that feel heavier than the last. And even in the smallest wins, a page written, a rep completed, a light left on for someone you love, you begin to feel it, not just progress, but momentum. You realize growth doesn't always look like a leap. Sometimes it looks like showing up again and again and again, until one day, without even noticing, you're stronger than you've ever been. And then one day, it happens. After all the silence, all the struggle, all the nights no one saw, something breaks through. A moment arrives that makes every fall, every failure, every tear worth it. You stand taller, you speak louder, you feel lighter. The graduation cap soars, the team cheers. The idea you once whispered becomes real. But the breakthrough doesn't always look like fireworks. Sometimes it's just the moment you choose to rise one more time. You're tired, you're hurting, but you stand. And in that moment, the pain doesn't disappear. It transforms into pride, into peace, into power. You cross the line, not because it was easy, but because you refuse to stop. And when you look around, you realize the world hasn't changed. You have. You've become the person who never gave up. And now, the light isn't ahead of you. It's all around you. silence, not because you're lost, but because you finally arrived. The storm is behind you, and the horizon ahead no longer feels impossible. It feels open. You've carried the weight, fought the battle, and kept going when no one saw. And now, when you look in the mirror, you don't see what you were. You see strength. You see light. Because the truth is, the light you were searching for, it was always within you.